Hey everybody, this is Michael once again. Alright, so this video, the quote is from Marcus Aurelius, but it's a little bit longer than normal. Normally we try and find something short, but I felt was really good. This is actually from book 7 of the Meditations. There you go. Alright, so Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "This is wickedness. This is what you have often seen, and you should have this thought ready to hand against any eventuality. I have seen this often before. Generally, wherever you look, you will find the same things. The histories, ancient, more recent, and modern, are full of them. Cities and households are full of them today. There is nothing new. All is familiar, and all short-lived." So, I really like that quote because, especially with modern day media, oh, well, um, especially with modern day media, we get constantly bombarded about how politicians are doing this and that, and the left is doing this and the right is doing that, and our youth is being corrupted, and this is the end times. Sometimes I've seen that, and it's very disparaging and discouraging, and just not positive. And you just kind of take a step back and listen to that quote by Marcus Aurelius, and you really kind of understand that all these problems, though unique to our times, they're not really new. There's always some politician who's as you can say old school, and they have all these views, and they're saying, oh, the left or the right is corrupting our youth. I mean, like, that's been said for, I don't know, hundreds of years. um, and the whole politicians and merchants taking advantage of the populace, trying to scam them out of money or votes, or trying to control the narrative. That's all very old. That's all repetitive. It's all very redundant. And so we've seen this before. We've been through this before. If you look through history, this has all happened before. And I'm not saying that in any way we should take a apathetic or indifferent kind of stance on things that are happening currently, but it should give us some kind of comfort, I guess, to know that this is just the cycle of life. Politicians will rise to power. They'll try and sway you to anything, and a big business will come into existence, and they will try and sweet talk you into buying this or that, and saying, oh well, if like the 1950s were saturated with commercialism to the point of like, oh well, you want to keep up with the Joneses across the street, and that's comparing you to someone else, and that that was and if you don't have this, you're not American. And that's that term, that verbiage has been used constantly. Oh well, if you don't wear this kind of robe, you're not a true Roman, and or if you don't believe this, you're not a true Christian, or whatever. And so all of this may be unique to that situation, or to these times, but this has all happened before. Governments will rise and fall, but people, humans still exist. And that's also where the other quote of those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. It's kind of nice to see that even Marcus Aurelius, how many thousands of years ago, um, pointed out that history just kind of repeats itself, and these are all cycles. And yeah, the cycles kind of escalate and elevate themselves because obviously the lifestyle that Marcus Aurelius lived is much different to a commoner here, in this day and age. And so just kind of take some reassurance that everything it happens in cycles, and you just because it's happening again in this cycle doesn't mean we have to be trapped by it. Still go out and live your life and all that, but don't get discouraged by what you see in the media. Because I know this was an issue I had, and I literally had to I as they say, committed social suicide, because I deleted all my social media because I just got tired of just being inundated with just negative news and just like, oh, school shootings here and war over here and famine over here and disease everywhere, and oh, by the way, your friend is left and your other friend is right and they're fighting, and I'm like, you know what, let's just back off, let's just cut it. And I cut off social media, and yeah, I can't honestly, I can't say I missed it or miss it at all. And then like some people are like, oh, what about your friends online? I was like, well, you mean the people who the most interaction I ever have is they'll like a photo I put up? Like, that's not really friendship. It's not really, because when I was there for them, it wasn't just me liking a photo, or when I needed someone, none of those people online were actually there. And one of my friends is one of the happiest guys that I know, and he is probably the, I guess, most discreet about his life, and he's never had a Facebook or MySpace or anything. He's like, man, I don't ever care about that. And I was like, and there was like a profoundness in that. So just kind of realize that none of this is new. Politicians will be politicians. They will lie. They will cheat. Businesses and merchants will try and cheat you out of your money and try and steal what they can. And this is all just another cycle of life. And another revolution around the sun, as they say. So, but all right, So, Marcus Aurelius, Book 7, Meditations. This is wickedness. This is what you have often seen, and you should have this thought ready to hand against any eventuality. I have seen this before. Generally, wherever you look, you will find the same things. The histories, ancient, more recent and modern, are full of them. Cities and households are full of them today. There is nothing new. All is familiar, and all short-lived. Well, guys, hopefully you're taking it easy. Get some joy out of your life, and just that's all. It's going to be all right. So, again, have a great day, guys.